Do you want to know how to make loose leaf tea? Well, today I'm going to teach you how to make tea from this instead of from this. Today on the Wellness Doc.
It is well. It is well.
Hey guys, my name is Dr. Eric Duncan and I am the Wellness Doc. And what I do is I put out video guides, product reviews, and tips for your mind, body, and goals. So if you're interested in anything to do with wellness, then please subscribe to this channel. But I want to dive right into tea today. I actually want to dive right into tea today because this is what we're going to talk about, is this loose leaf tea. And what is loose leaf tea? It's, you're used to seeing tea bags like this. It's actually loose leaf inside these bags, but there's a lot of advantages to brewing your own tea with loose leaf tea. Number one, it's just less processed type of tea. And number two, it tastes so much better. You get more flavor into your water. And also there's way more antioxidants in loose leaf tea than there is in the standard tea bag. So today I'm going to go over green tea, white tea, oolong tea, rooibos tea, herbal tea, black tea, more teas than you even knew existed. At the very end, I'm going to show you how to make matcha tea, just in case some of you are going to take your tea drinking skills to the next level. So what is your favorite kind of tea? The one I've been into lately is matcha tea, actually. But what's yours? Please comment in the section below, and I would love to know what your favorite type of tea is. So before we get into the making of the tea, let's talk about each category of tea. So let's start with talking about the teas. We'll go from the fragile little white tea all the way up to the hardy herbal type tea. So I call fragile little white tea because it is the least processed out of all the tea designations out there. White tea is going to be brewed at 185 degrees, but here's the good thing: if you're in a hurry, it's only going to take about 1 minute to brew your tea at 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, time is probably more important than anything else when you're brewing tea. Temperature is second most important. Amount of water is your choice. You can put as much water in or as little water as you want, depending on how strong you want the taste. The next level up is green tea. Now, green tea is very popular. Most people have heard of this type of tea. It is rich in antioxidants, and you only brew this at 175 degrees Fahrenheit for those of us in the US. Now, this really is quick also. You're only supposed to brew it for about 2 minutes. When you're making tea, I want you to think of these as recipes. So you just match the recipe for the tea, and it's not a difficult recipe. There'll be no stirring or anything, and I'll show you some things you can use at home to make it real easy. But just think of each one as a recipe. The next tea I want to talk about is oolong tea. And this tea, a lot of people think is good at controlling appetite and with weight reduction, though you may have to drink massive amounts to accomplish those goals. Regardless, I think it's a great tasting tea. It's one of my favorites, my former favorite type of tea. This type of tea you will brew at 195 degrees Fahrenheit, and the brew time on that is 3 minutes. The next type of tea I want to talk about is black tea. Now, black tea, you're going to bring just shy of a boil, and then you're going to brew the black tea for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now, this is one of the highest caffeinated type of teas that are out there. So where white tea was low caffeine, green tea is low caffeine. White's actually considered very low. And oolong is a medium caffeinated tea. Your black tea is highly caffeinated tea. And then your herbals and rooibos are zero caffeinated, not even low caffeinated type of teas. So these are usually good to drink at night. And finally is herbal teas. The great thing about herbal teas is these are hardy. It's hard to mess it up. You really can't burn it. You're going to be brewing it at a temperature just shy of boiling, and you can leave that thing going for 5 minutes. You can leave that in the brewer for 10 minutes. So if you want to play it safe and just get into a whole tea, then you may want to start with a herbal type tea. Here's the catch though. Herbal tea will have the most flavor, but it's also going to have no caffeine in it. So if you're trying to get off coffee, I used to be a 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day drinker. I'm now on 2.5 weeks of no coffee at all. then it's going to be a hard one to kind of jump into. But if you are drinking this mainly at night or want to do a cutoff of caffeine, which we suggest at 3 p.m. or later, then herbal tea may be your guy or gal. So let's take a look at our teas, and I will show you how to make these step by step. So here is my secret weapon for my snobbiness of making tea. You can see this is a pitcher that actually will select the exact temperature you want, or gives you the ability to select that. So today's example, since we will not take too much of your time and I want to get into the content, we're going to use this guy right here, and we're going to use it at 175 degrees to make us a cup of green tea. Now, this is loose leaf tea. It just means it's not in a bag, and it's just kind of all over the place. The measurement you'll use is a teaspoon. And again, if you don't have a teaspoon at your house, I told you I would use anything that you had there. This is 1 teaspoon, so what? You could probably pinch that out and do a couple pinches. Again, this part of tea making is up to your taste or your preference. And I'll put the recipes of each type of tea below in the description, so feel free to use that as a reference guide as we move forward. As specific as it is for the temperature and the time, it's about as non-specific as the volume and water that you want to use, or the amount of tea you want to use for your tea making. So let me show you on a green tea example. You have the loose leaf tea. I'm actually going to grab this out of a bag. Now this, you can use this. This is an easy tea cup maker. I'll put this on my Amazon store, a little link below that you can get this. They're cheap. I think they're 20, 30 bucks maybe. I think maybe less than that. You can use a French press. Or heck, I mean, if you're in a pinch, you can even just use a glass and grab one of these strainers here and just put it over the glass when it's done, and then pour that out into another glass to have your tea. So I'm going to remove this right now because I'm going to warm up the tea. I'm not close to an outlet. So we'll plug this in. I said I was going to make green tea, so there's a green tea setting at 175. You'll get to see exactly how long that takes to do that. This is a tea bag I may drink later, and let's get started with this. So I will go directly out of the bag. I'm actually going to pour this back in. And then this is an 8-ounce cup. So what they say is 2 teaspoons per 8 ounces of water. This is 16 ounces in this perfect cup, or I don't know what they call it right now. They used to call it a perfect cup. So I put in 4 heaping teaspoons because I like my tea a little bit stronger. 1. Everyone count with me now. 2. 3. You never knew tea making could be so exciting. 4. So that's 4 heaping teaspoons into my perfect cup. That kettle is going in the background, electric kettle, but what we'll do here is we'll pour it right into this cup. We will wait 2 minutes. Okay, so we have our water brewed to 175 degrees, and like I said, we're just going to pour it into this perfect cup here. Sorry, I keep calling it a perfect cup. And we will set a timer for 2 minutes and 1 second. I gotta set that. There we go. 2 minutes, and then we'll just set this off to the side. Now, while we wait for that, I'll show you how to make some matcha tea, which is my favorite. Matcha tea is so different than whole leaf tea because it uses the actual whole leaf that you'll actually drink the whole leaf, because what they do is they grind up the entire leaf. It is the highest antioxidant in the world per whatever they measure that in. I don't know. Units. International units, we'll say. So let me show you that real quick. This is, I don't know if we can get this on camera. This is matcha tea. It looks gross. It is not gross. Let me grab a cup. I'll need 2 cups. So we will make this matcha tea in this Tigger cup here. This is easy. 1 tablespoon of matcha. You can see how much I love it. I can't even get a full tablespoon. There we go. So it's just powder in the bottom of the cup like that. And then we are going to take that 175 degree water and pour that right on top. So because I do not love the taste, it is okay. I'm starting to love it. I'm starting to really like it. It's probably the more fair valuation of it. But since I'm starting to like that, then I use more water in this. For some reason that makes it taste not as grassy. I don't know how to describe it. So this you're gonna whisk because you wanna get like an oxygen bubbles on the top layer of this Tigger cup. So this is a whisk that goes to a machine. I have no idea. I just found this in my cabinet. As I'm whisking this, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna keep whisking this. Our timer just went off for the green tea. So I'm gonna put that on top of here. And what it does, it empties out all the water and it stops all the tea from the screen. What I love about green tea is you can drink it right away. Same with this matcha tea. 175, that's almost kids' temperature. When those kids get their hot chocolates at $5 or whatever it's called. So that's what you're left with the tea. You can brew this twice. So if you want to throw this in the fridge or just leave it to your side for the second cup, that's totally doable. Now, if you guys have gotten value from this video and now know how to make your whole leaf tea, I'd appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up, the like button below this video and show that we gave you some value. So I will drink that in a bit and we're gonna keep doing this. You're supposed to do this for a minute and a half. I've actually never done that. I'm trying to get fancy with it and pretend like I'm starting a fire. Remember, there are no rules. The only rules are that you do it at the right temperature and you do it for the right amount of time. Although matcha, you don't have to do it for the right amount of time, like I just said, because, listen, we're already breaking the rules because matcha is the Japanese type of tea that is really ceremonial. So, I mean, you're using wooden type brushes, a certain scoop, you have to do a certain process. But for us USA people, sometimes we just do things I'm just gonna say it, the hillbilly way. That's it. There's your matcha tea, high in antioxidants, high in caffeine. I mean, it's not gonna be more than a cup of coffee, but it'll give you a nice little pick-me-up. And the great thing about matcha tea is there's no caffeine crash because it has so much chlorophyll in it by the way they grow it and chop up the whole leaf that you don't have that caffeine crash, which if you've never experienced that, you're just strung out on coffee, how I was for half my life, then you're gonna love this matcha. I would just one day say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drink matcha tea. It's pretty cool. And challenge yourself, challenge your taste buds. You guys, that's all there is to tea making. So obviously, depending what tea, we showed you how to make a green tea today, but if you make your white tea, remember, it's all temperature and time. 185 for 1 minute. Green tea is 175 for 3 minutes. Oolong 195 for 3 minutes. I'm sorry, green tea was for 2 minutes. And then all your herbal teas and black teas are 3 to 5 minutes. Your herbal teas really as long as you can cook that thing. If you guys are interested, there's something called yerba mate, which is a South American based drink that I'd love to show you guys how to do that traditional way, and maybe I'll actually bring in somebody. Check out the other videos on this channel because you may be surprised how simple your wellness journey can be with the right video guides, product reviews, and techniques. I'm Dr. Eric Duncan, and remember, it is well.